Quite literally every single good idea, business idea, personal, lifestyle, any idea that I've ever had that has been good, that has led to some sort of further success in whatever manner you would call it, has been away from my phone. Why? I spent a pretty large portion of the day on technology today. And my mental fog right now is ridiculous. I can't think coherently. My imagination is just about zilch. Let's just go back in time to where you were maybe 4 or 5 years old and you would play with dolls or WWE figures or whatever the hell, the dinosaurs, whatever you would do before you got your first iPod Touch, or when you would watch Pokemon on the TV, whatever the hell you would do. I'm saying that because that's exactly what I would do. And the in-depth imagination that you could spur with you, a few of your buddies, by yourself. It didn't matter because it was just you, and you were forced to think. Where's your imagination gone? Where's my imagination? Where's my imagination gone? It's nowhere near like it was 12 years ago when I didn't have any technology. And I'd use the example because young kids today, from the moment they're born, they're being shoved an iPad in their face to avoid their cryingness. When in reality, they are probably crying because they're bored or complaining, let's say, for younger children, maybe 4 to 5. They're bored. So what do parents do? They shove an iPad and give them fat food, which all of that just clogs your mental fortitude. And I notice that when I'm eating high saturated foods, a bunch of seed oils, just nasty shit. I just had fucking some not so pleasant foods, and I've spent a lot of my day on technology, and my mental fog is ridiculous right now. And I know because vividly, when I spend even just, let's say, an hour off my phone thinking, I feel ecstatic after. My dopamine levels are surged. Uh, my energy, my creativity, my imagination, all of that feels fantastic. The satisfaction I have within myself is wonderful. It is incredible. Spending more time off your phone and thinking and letting those flowing thoughts occur, or trying to think through situations in your head, is every single time I've had a great idea, it is spurred from me thinking about it, getting off my damn phone. Usually, or I would say often, when I'm thinking through those thoughts, it is taking remembrances of past podcast, audible books, conversations in the past that I've had, and accumulating all of that. But then I'm crafting that into my own idea, into my own thought, and I'm taking it through my own journey in my head, because there's a few different ways where you can consume and learn information. One, someone tells you something, you learn about it online, you read about it, you listen to a podcast, etc. And you may be able to reiterate those sentences. Let's say someone said a profound statement, and you can reiterate that same profound statement in the same way and sound just as profound. But there's a difference when you say something and when you've internalized it and turned that thought into your own, and then actually did action upon it. Let's say you get some sort of business advice and you actually implement it. You think it through, make it your own idea for your own business, or not your own idea, but take that idea and turn it into your own um, for your product, and you actually implement it and then you run it inside your business. The amount that you learn there is you actually learn something because you took knowledge and applied it. Whereas I think a lot of us, and I say that because I do this a lot, is you hear something and then you recite it because you remembered it, but you don't understand it because you don't realize all the other steps that came in before that and how they came to that conclusion. And that's what really matters. It's not the conclusion that they come to that you can reiterate. It's the process. Because what happens if someone who understands it just as well as the person who told you about it or the podcast that you heard about it starts to ask follow-up questions? You may have said a profound statement, but then you look incredibly stupid and idiotic because you don't have any depth of knowledge on that subject. And I'm saying this from firsthand experience because I've done this. I've said things that I may have heard the conclusion and I understood that was the right conclusion. And I reiterated it, but I didn't understand the process that it took to get to that conclusion. I didn't understand the counter arguments. I didn't understand the gray area in between. That comes down to thinking through these things on your own. No matter how many times you're told something, eventually you have to think it through on your own, because nobody can do it for you. Where did the imagination go? I don't know. And I know that it's this stupid thing that is taking a lot of the creativity we otherwise would have away, as well as the food as well. That's such a big one that's overlooked. The mental clarity you get from not eating seed oils or saturated fats and processed food is ridiculous. Just thinking this through for myself, I am addicted to my phone. And after a long day of, let's say, productive, creative work, how good and how sparked are your dopamine receptors when you start scrolling on your favorite media app? You're fired up. You're fired up. But then you go through it for an hour and you get sucked into a doom loop reel, and then you are now getting zero satisfaction that you did, because you took up all the satisfaction. But for some reason, you always go back. It's like a damn addiction. I'm severely addicted to technology, to my phone, to my computer. I'm opening up how many times a day? Any notification I get instantly, I have to figure out what the hell they said. Even if I don't care, if it's just a stupid email, it doesn't matter. It's so easy to say this on the internet, but to actually do it, it's much more challenging. So for the rest of the night, even though I so desperately want to consume more information on social media, I can't. I know I shouldn't. And keeping myself grounded, I guess, would be one way to cognitively be aware when I am doing this, and actively looking down on myself when I do overly consume information that has no real value to myself. Even I just downloaded the third sequel to this Audible book that I was listening to, the Russell Brunson marketing books, the Expert Secrets, and all the .com secrets, traffic secrets, best marketing books on the face of the planet Earth, I would say. Even if I start listening to that now, I would not grasp as much information if I did when I was fresh, because I'm so predisposed to so much consumption. My brain is fogged up, and unless you are feeling like that right now, it might be a hard feeling to articulate. But there's almost like a fog of just mental glut that is tough to be able to see through, think through. Same thing if I play a lot of pickleball, something that I shouldn't be proud of, but I am. And uh, when I come in without really staring at the screen all day, if I'm not doing a bunch of work on my laptop or I'm fucking sucked in on my phone, if I don't do any of that, my eyesight when I see the ball is remarkable. I can see it coming in slow motion. It's super easy. But after a long period of social media consumption, the ball it's almost like my vision's getting worse and I'm very foggy. I don't know what the long-term effects of that are going to be on my eye receptors, but that doesn't really matter to me too much, as much as my creativity, my imagination that is seemingly disappearing in a world of ever more consumption of social media. But I don't want it to. It feels great when you do get off the internet. It feels fantastic thinking through that stuff, but it takes a while to get into, because initially you're searching for the drug. And then I know even after I have that great spark of imagination and thinking through concepts in my head, the drug still comes back for me. And it says, Josh, consume me. Instagram is calling you. I've turned my phone to black and white to where I have no color. But that doesn't matter. I still consume it. Maybe slightly less, or maybe it is providing slightly less dopamine. But I'm still on this bastard. They said that helps, and it does, potentially. But can't get fucking out of it. I don't know. What things are people doing? Like, are you slapping yourself in the face? when you are in your social media? I don't know. I would note, even though I work online, I wouldn't say productive, but the most strides that I get for long-term benefits in my business are when I am thinking through something in the car, in my bed, when I don't have my phone. Then the implementation of it may be online. The way that I get to the conclusion as to where I need to take my online business, it is always offline. Is how I come to those conclusions. And there's definitely something to it. We have all the information at our fingertips right now where we can literally do anything in the world. Uh, I'm training the AI to be a marketing genius so it can give me advice as to how we can take this business to the next level. It is remarkable how powerful this stuff is. But at the same time, you can learn from the greatest people who ever faced the planet. It is also the most entertainment that any king or queen of any century have ever been exposed to. Right now, we can consume higher quality entertainment than the richest king 100 years ago ever could have. They could have had the most money to ever face to ever step on the planet Earth, and we have available to us better and more entertainment at the touch of our fingers for free. Part of my job is to keep people on the platform. For the people that I work with, what social media does is it rewards people for keeping you on the platform. That means you have to make videos that keep people on the platform, and you're doing that through editing, through B-roll, through uh, music and all these other things and information, and having actually good content, like let's say Mr. Beast, for example, having cuts every few seconds, flashing lights, all these things popping up on the screen. Well, if you're on Instagram or TikTok, I don't know, they have the split screen, they have like the Subway Surfers down and then somebody talking up top because we can't even listen to people anymore. The entire goal of social media is to keep people on the platform. That is your goal when you are making videos. That is it, to keep people on the platform. And I'm just by that. This is 13 minutes long. I don't really edit it. And I'd like to keep it that way because the person that I want to connect with and my ideal audience is not somebody who needs the Subway Surfers on split screen so they don't have to just watch and listen to me speak. They are forced to, or they are being entertained by a video game underneath. And while that is quote unquote entertaining or keeps your retention for a longer period of time, those are not the people that I think I want to communicate to. I don't really want to communicate to anyone. One of my buddies said, "Hey, Josh, I thought one of your videos the other day about AI was fantastic. Can I post it on my Instagram?" And I got butterflies. My heart sank. I was like, "Holy shit, what the hell?" I was nervous. And I don't know why I get like that. I get severe social anxiety. And you're saying, Josh, you seem like you're an outgoing person. How easy is that to portray as you are talking to a camera by yourself in your room to yourself? Trying to get out the damn social media doom loop.